Yo, Vikings Nation. Skol. Baby, it's your boy. Hyped up and ready to dive into the juiciest Minnesota Vikings news of the week. We're talking cornerback chaos. Our secondary's got more question marks than a trivia night at US Bank Stadium. After passing on defensive backs in the 2025 NFL Draft, are we about to make a splash in free agency? Buckle up, because this one's going to be a wild ride. Here's the deal. GM Kwesi Adofo-Mensah went all in on free agency this offseason, but our cornerback room is still shakier than a rookie QB facing Aaron Donald. Could a big-name signing like Rasul Douglas be the answer? Or are we bringing back old friends like Shaq Griffin? Stick around as we break down all 15 angles of this story, and let me know in the comments who you want locking down the secondary. Teaser alert. There's a former Bills star who could transform our defense, but his price tag might make your jaw drop. Will the Vikings pay up? Or is there a cheaper fix? Let's get into it. Skol style. The 2025 NFL Draft left Vikings fans scratching their heads. With only 5 picks, Kwesi Adofo-Mensah focused on the trenches and skill positions, snagging studs like Ohio State's Donovan Jackson and Maryland's Ty Felton. But here's the kicker. Not a single defensive back was drafted, despite glaring holes in the secondary. Our cornerback room is thin outside of Byron Murphy Jr., who's locked in as CB1 after a shiny new contract. Isaiah Rodgers, a free agency pickup from Philly, is penciled in as CB2, but beyond that, it's a gamble. Guys like Mekhi Blackmon, Jeff Okudah, and Dwight McGlothern are fighting for scraps, but none scream, shut down corner. Why skip the secondary in the draft? Some say Kwesi's banking on free agency to fix it, especially with comp picks no longer a worry after April 29th. What do you think, Vikings Nation? Did we miss a golden opportunity? Or is Kwesi cooking something big? Drop your takes below. Free agency is where the Vikings have been flexing their muscles. According to Over the Cap, we dropped nearly $300 million this offseason, second only to the Patriots. From Jonathan Allen and Javon Hargrave bolstering the D-line to Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason powering the run game, Kwesi's been spending like it's monopoly money. But the secondary? Still a work in progress. Losing Stephon Gilmore and Cameron Bynum in free agency stung, and with Harrison Smith's retirement looming, we're desperate for playmakers. The good news? The free agent pool for cornerbacks is still stacked, and Minnesota's got the cash to make moves. Picture this. A veteran corner stepping in to stabilize our defense, turning our front seven's chaos into turnovers. Who's the perfect fit? Let's talk about a name that's got everyone buzzing, Rasul Douglas. Stay tuned, because this guy could be the key. Rasul Douglas, a 29-year-old former Bills starter, is the talk of the town. PFF's Ryan Smith says he's a natural fit for Brian Flores' blitz-heavy scheme, and I'm pumped just thinking about it. Douglas has 19 career interceptions and 51 pass breakups over 8 seasons. Numbers that scream playmaker. But here's the catch. 2024 was rough for Douglas in Buffalo. PFF gave him a brutal 51.6 coverage grade, and he's still unsigned post-draft. Is he past his prime, or did Buffalo's scheme just not vibe? With Flores' aggressive style, Douglas could rediscover his 2021 form when he snagged 5 picks for Green Bay. Vikings fans, what's your vibe on Douglas? Could he be this year's Stephon Gilmore? Or are we chasing a fading star? Hit the comments and let's debate. His fit in Minnesota feels too good to ignore, but there's more to this story. Let's talk money because Douglas ain't cheap. Spotrac projects him at $12 million for a 1-year deal. Yikes. For context, that's close to what we paid for Byron Murphy's extension. With Minnesota already spending big, is Kwesi ready to drop another bag on a corner coming off a down year? There's a cheaper option floating around, Shaq Griffin. The veteran was a staple in our 2024 secondary and knows Flores' system inside out. He's still a free agent, and a reunion could cost way less than Douglas' price tag. Familiarity versus upside. Who wins? Imagine Douglas lining up opposite Murphy, with Rodgers in the slot, turning our secondary into a turnover machine. But if the price is too steep, Griffin's reliability might be the smarter play. What's your call, Skol Nation? Shaq Griffin's case is compelling. He played 12 games for the Vikings in 2024, racking up 39 tackles and 7 pass breakups. At 29, he's not old, and his experience in Flores' scheme makes him a plug-and-play option. Plus, he's likely looking at a deal closer to $8 to $10 million, per Spotrac's estimates. But let's not sleep on the upside of Douglas. His 6'2" frame and ball-hawking instincts could pair perfectly with our ferocious front seven, led by Jonathan Allen and Dallas Turner. A prove-it deal, say $9 million with incentives, could be the sweet spot for Minnesota. Here's a question for you. Would you rather have Griffin's consistency or roll the dice on Douglas' potential? I'm torn, but one thing's clear. Our secondary needs a boost and fast. Another name in the mix? Asante Samuel Jr., formerly of the Chargers. Bleacher Report linked him to Minnesota as a post-draft target, but Cleveland's also sniffing around. At 25, Samuel's younger than Douglas or Griffin and brings speed and versatility, with 11 career picks in 4 seasons. The downside? He's projected at $10.5 million annually, and the Browns' need for youth at corner might drive up his price. If Minnesota misses out, we could regret not acting sooner. Samuel's quickness in the slot could complement Murphy's physicality on the boundary. What do you think, Vikings Nation? Is Samuel worth the chase, or should we stick with veterans like Douglas or Griffin? The clock's ticking, and Kwesi's got some tough calls to make. Let's zoom out and look at our current cornerback depth. Byron Murphy Jr. is the cornerstone, with 64 tackles and 3 picks in 2024. Isaiah Rodgers, our free agency steal, brings blazing speed and special teams value, but he's unproven as a full-time starter. Then there's Mekhi Blackmon, who's recovering from a torn ACL. Big question mark there. Jeff Okudah, Ambry Thomas, and Dwight McGlothern round out the group, but none have locked down a starting role. Okudah, a former number 3 overall pick, has the pedigree but only 52 tackles in 13 games last year. This crew's got potential, but it's raw. How confident are you in this group, Vikings fans? Drop a percentage in the comments. Mine's about 60% without a veteran addition. We need someone to step up or sign up. Brian Flores' defense is the X-factor here. In 2024, we ranked top 10 in blitz rate, sending extra rushers on 38% of plays. That aggression puts pressure on corners to hold up in man coverage, which is why a guy like Douglas, who thrives in press, could be a game-changer. Flores turned Gilmore into a lockdown corner last year at age 34, so imagine what he could do with Douglas or Samuel. Our front seven, stacked with Allen, Hargrave, and Turner, will give QBs nightmares, but only if our secondary holds up. That's the gamble Kwesi's facing. What's your take on Flores' scheme? Does it make you more excited about a Douglas signing? Or are you worried about our corners getting exposed? Let's hear it. The Vikings' draft strategy tells us something. By skipping cornerbacks, Kwesi signaled confidence in free agency or the current roster. THeavyKingGauge.com suggests we might see a veteran like Gilmore or Griffin return, with both still unsigned as of May 5, 2025. A reunion could be the low-risk move, but there's buzz around Rasul Douglas on X, with at Vikings fanpage quoting PFF's love for his fit in Flores' system. Fans are split. Some want Douglas' upside, others trust Griffin's familiarity. The lack of draft picks at corner screams free agency splash. But who's it going to be? Vikings Nation, let's play GM. Do we go big with Douglas, play it safe with Griffin, or chase a wild card like Samuel? Your vote matters. Hit the comments. Let's talk about the stakes. Our 2024 season ended with a brutal wild card loss to the Rams, where Sam Darnold took an NFL record 9 sacks. Kwesi's offseason moves, adding Allen, Hargrave, and Mason, show he's building a physical, violent team to avoid another collapse. The secondary, though, could be our Achilles heel. Facing NFC North studs like Jordan Love, Caleb Williams, and Jared Goff, we need corners who can survive without safety help. A guy like Douglas could turn close games into wins by snagging a pick or two. How big is the secondary problem in your eyes? Fans, are we one signing away from contending, or do we need a total overhaul? Let's get those hot takes flowing. What about the long-term plan? Murphy and Rodgers are under contract through 2026, but Blackman and Okuda hit free agency next year. If we sign Douglas or Griffin to a one-year deal, we're still thin in 2026 unless younger guys step up. Kwesi's playing chess, not checkers. Drafting zero corners might mean we're banking on undrafted free agents like Jordan Oladipo, who posted elite coverage stats at Bowling Green, per SB Nation. Could a UDFA be our next Ivan Pace Jr.? It's a long shot, but Kwesi's hit on UDFAs before. What's your confidence level in our young corners, Vikings Nation? Are we set for the future, or should we draft heavy at CB in 2026? Let me know. The fanbase is buzzing, and I'm loving the energy on X. Posts from @VikingsFanpage show Vikings fans hyped about Douglas but nervous about his 2024 struggles. Others are begging for Gilmore to return, citing his 5 picks in 2024. The passion for this team is unreal. Skull. Kwesi's got a track record of bold moves, trading for Sam Howell, signing Murphy, and snagging Rodgers early in free agency. If he pulls the trigger on Douglas, it could signal we're all in for a playoff run. But a misstep could haunt us in a loaded NFC North. What's the vibe in your Vikings group chat? Are we Super Bowl dreamers or just hoping for a wild card? Share your predictions below. Let's wrap this up with a reality check. The Vikings defense ranked 14th in passing yards allowed last year, 210.9 per game, but our 13 interceptions tied for 10th. Adding a ball hawk like Douglas or Samuel could push us into the top tier, especially with our pass rush set to dominate. The clock's ticking, training camp is around the corner, and our secondary needs clarity. Whether it's Douglas, Griffin, or a surprise signing, Kwesi's got one more chance to solidify this roster before the season kicks off. Vikings fans, what's your gut telling you? Will we land a stud corner, or are we rolling with what we've got? Drop your final thoughts in the comments. Skol Vikings. That's a wrap on today's Minnesota Vikings news. We dove deep into the cornerback drama, from Rasul Douglas' potential to Shaq Griffin's reliability and everything in between. This team's got me hyped, but we need that secondary lockdown to make a real run in 2025. If you love this breakdown, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell for more Vikings content every week. Share this with your fellow Skol fans, and let's keep the purple pride alive. One last question. Who's your dream cornerback signing for the Vikings? Drop it in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Skol forever, Vikings Nation.